This is Inbred, the Sandwich Podcast, episode number 4. I'm Barry.
I'm Jeff.
And we're here to talk about sandwiches and the sandwich adjacent.
Sandwiches.
Oh, we got a sweet one today. We're talking about peanut butter and jelly.
It's peanut butter jelly time.
Peanut butter jelly time.
Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly.
Peanut butter jelly, and subscribe to us. I love peanut butter and jelly. I always have as a kid, and
Sure.
I don't care how old I get. I'm still going to be eating PB&J sandwiches.
Yeah, it's a quick and easy sandwich to make.
When I worked out of the house, I would have like peanut butter and jelly and a loaf of bread, so I could just make a quick PB&J at work and get back to it.
Yep, it's one of those as well that you can make ahead of time, and it doesn't tend to make the bread soggy.
Yeah, the bread
So
will hold
easy.
together because it doesn't
Yeah.
absorb all the jelly or the peanut butter.
Exactly.
So you can make it, let it sit, take a call, come back to it. It's still good. It's not going to be soggy. It's just easy.
It's an easy but flavorful way to enjoy a sandwich.
Yeah. So, the story of PB&J, we got to take it back a little bit.
All right.
Goes back to the story of bread. It's made of grain. The invention of pre-sliced bread was from the early 1900s. According to the National Peanut Board, yeah, that's a thing.
It is a thing.
Otto Frederick Roeder invented a bread slicer, but bakers didn't want it because they said, no one will want their bread pre-sliced. So he kept refining it and changing it until it was ready to use in bakeries, and the slogan for this thing evolved to the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Uh-huh.
That's where that comes from. So then people looked for spreads to use with this wonder food.
Sure.
Then there's jelly. Been around a long time. Preserves have been around a long time. A guy named Paul Welch in 1917 secured a patent for pureeing the grapes and turning them into jelly.
Hence Welch's grape jelly.
Mm-hmm. He developed and advertised Grape Blade, which rhymes with marmalade, from Concord grapes. And it was popular with the troops in World War I. And when soldiers came home from the war, it was popular to spread Grape Blade on bread. Then there's peanut butter. Now, peanut butter was not invented by George Washington Carver.
No.
But he's credited with advancing the peanut crop in the South for 300 uses for peanuts and all that stuff,
Certainly.
including a peanut paste. So he had his hand in this. But the peanut butter, what we used to have peanut butter, was from the 1880s when Dr. Ambrose Straub made a peanut paste for geriatric patients who had trouble swallowing or had bad teeth. Same time, Harvey Kellogg, the cereal guy, patented a process for manufacturing it. Peanut butter was introduced in the Chicago World's Fair in 1893. And then it got so popular in 1904, he got a food company to develop it, and there you go. Now you got peanut butter.
Sure.
Peanut butter appeared in upscale tea rooms in New York City.
Ooh.
And on the menu of the Vanity Fair tea room was a peanut butter with watercress sandwich. Other places had peanut butter and pimento or peanut butter on toast triangles with soda crackers.
I can't see peanut butter and watercress. That just seems like an odd pairing. But hey, who am I to judge?
The first PB&J sandwich appeared in 1901 in a Boston Cooking School magazine of culinary science and stuff, written by Julia Davis Chandler. And she used currant or crabapple jelly with the peanut butter, and it was delicious as far as she knew. It was still exclusive, and it's still not as popular as it was to come. During the Great Depression, peanut butter was cheap and provided high protein at low cost. And then, of course, the thing that really blew peanut butter and jelly's popularity up was World War II.
Makes sense.
U.S. military ration menus in World War II, peanut butter and jelly was on it. It was a high protein. It was shelf stable.
Yep.
Portable on long marches. Still is.
Still is.
And so the soldiers came back, gave it to their kids, and now we have peanut butter and jelly. I have peanut butter and jelly at least once a week.
My dad, being a pilot, that's one of their go-tos for taking lunches with because, you don't know if you're going to have access to a refrigerator on your plane, and you don't know if it's something that you can bring your cooler or whatever with you. So it's something that's easily portable and easy to store.
When I was a kid, we used to have these thin little sandwich plastic holder things, and you can't put like a proper sandwich in there.
No.
You can really only fit something with very thin slices of meat or cheese. And
Right.
Forget about lettuce and tomatoes and pickles and all the shit. No, it's made for peanut butter and jelly.
It really is.
And I loved those things. Whenever I
Yeah.
saw one of those in my lunch, I'm like, oh, it's going to be peanut butter and jelly time come lunchtime.
Nice.
Where I don't have to eat the cafeteria food. Except for pizza day.
Your little lunch pail,
My
your thermos,
my
thermos branded lunch pail with Knight Rider,
I had an
Dukes of Hazzard.
I had an ET lunchbox.
ET. All
and
right,
this other
nice,
girl
nice.
would had the same one in first grade, and sometimes she had better lunch than I did, so I would occasionally swap our lunch.
Oh yeah, nice.
She got on pretty quick. Now back in first grade, back at that time, you could have thermoses and lunchboxes.
Right.
Now kids can't have thermoses or something like that.
I don't know. I think
Country.
you just can't bring lunch boxes, or you have to bring like a form of a lunch box. I don't know.
I don't understand.
Well,
Lunchboxes were a defensive tool as well.
Oh yeah.
Screw with me, you're gonna get my medal.
Yep.
Anyway,
So frickin' metal.
whenever I think about peanut butter and jelly, I think our friend Todd is wrong. Now, our friend Todd is wrong about a great many, 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 many things in his life, but especially this.
Oh boy.
So, when I put together a peanut butter and jelly sandwich,
Uh-huh.
I have 2 slices of bread.
Yes.
I will put peanut butter on 1 slice of bread.
Uh-huh.
I will go get another knife or clean this knife. And then I will put jelly on the other slice of bread. And then I will put the 2 halves together.
What about thin layer of peanut butter on both sides and then a nice thick layer of jelly in the middle?
That's not... No.
Why not?
Just no.
It helps seal the bread so that the jelly doesn't absorb into the bread.
Okay, you're making too much sense. But it's the spreading of jelly on the peanut butter directly that's fucking me up.
Yeah.
Most people I say that to just cringe at that.
Well, what if you only have 1 slice of bread and you have to put both on there, and
Then you put peanut butter on one side, jelly on the other, and you fold it over.
you could just put make it like an open face sandwich.
Don't even get me started about Goober Grape. That's for godless communists.
You mean the peanut butter and the jelly mixed together in the same jar?
No, dude, no. Just no. And I have horrible flashbacks to the Mark Harmon film Summer School, where he's eating Goober Grape with his hands and then scooping it out and then getting his dog to eat it. And then he puts it back in and then he eats it with his hand. Like, ew, dude. Ew. I don't remember anything else about that movie, but I remember that.
That is hilarious.
Oh, and I don't think he was using a stunt dog for that.
Probably not.
That's disgusting.
Or a pair of stunt fingers.
Oh, God. No.
It's like different pair of hands for the close-ups.
It's just terrible. Go see the movie. It's a fun movie, but
It is a fun movie.
It's near the beginning, so if you don't like it, you can stop watching it after he does that.
Yep.
So Torgo's wrong, and you should not put jelly on top of peanut butter. That's not how that works.
I say to each their own, because I've done it that way.
Yeah, hey, to each their own, and I can call you wrong because he is.
All right.
I dislike him for many reasons, but that's high up there. That just bugs the hell out of me.
Now, here's an interesting question. Toasted or untoasted bread?
Ooh.
Because I've had it both ways, and I honestly don't know which one I like better.
I prefer untoasted bread.
Okay.
It's got to be bread that's hardy enough to hold up to a peanut butter and jellying inside, but not flimsy thin bread, not like the thin slices. But toast, I associate toast with breakfast or like a club sandwich.
Sure. Well, I'm going to throw another twist on you here because I've had that done this way, and it's fantastic. Butter grill the outside of the bread, and then put your peanut butter and jelly in. Or you could even, if you want to warm up the peanut butter and jelly, you butter grill it while the peanut butter and jelly is already in between the 2 slices of bread.
Yeah, see, it's the warming.
Fantastic.
The warming thing just
No?
it doesn't appeal to me. But I can see why you'd like it. It gives it
It's really good.
A deeper kind of flavor.
Yeah.
I like my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches cold.
Okay.
because it's a cold sandwich to me. You're making something that I'm associating with being a cold sandwich, making it a hot sandwich, and you're screwing up my brain. It's probably good.
Now, another interesting twist on this there's a place with the Back to the 80s Cafe and More here in Vegas. They have a deep fried PB&J.
Ooh,
Which
it's
kind of like a Monte Cristo, yeah. They
yeah.
take the PB&J and then they batter dip it and deep fry it. Now, I have not yet tried it myself.
Oh, we're gonna have to
but
go and try that.
it's on the list of things to try when I go back there.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting since we spent almost a whole episode on the Monte Cristo. It was an interesting thing to bring up since we're on PB&J.
The Monte Cristo has ham
Sure.
and cheese, and I've had a hot ham and cheese, and it's delicious.
Right.
But peanut butter and jelly, hot. I don't know. Maybe my life will change.
I don't know.
I'm open to this.
I mean, there's a twist out there. I saw it online where you use French toast, your batter dipped and grilled bread, but you use the two pieces of French toast as the outside of your PB&J sandwich.
See, French toast to me is already sweet, and you don't have to have sugar in it. A lot of people do. You could just have vanilla and cinnamon, but it still makes
Sure.
it sweet. The egg makes it a little sweet for some reason to me.
Oh, okay.
And French toast is the star of the show already.
Right.
And you're going to add even more sweet stuff on top of it. That's violently American.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I have seen in restaurants people using jelly on their French toast as opposed to, syrup. So I thought that's why I thought, oh, okay, this makes total sense that somebody would make a PB&J out of French toast bread. So anyway,
Jelly and
Yeah.
egg.
yeah.
That makes me uncomfortable.
Why?
Ugh. Jelly and eggs?
Well, who knows? Like I said, there's many different ways to eat a PB&J.
Let's talk about nut butters.
Nut butters,
Because
okay.
peanut butter is cheap because it's
Sure.
so prolific.
Yeah, peanuts are very easy to grow now.
And they're not even technically nuts. They're
They're
legumes. Yeah. But now you've tried a lot more of these than I have.
Yes.
Cashew butter.
Not had cashew butter.
It seems like it would be creamy and sweeter.
That's it. I'm not sure. I haven't had that one.
I am not a fan of pistachios, but people swear by it.
My dad loves
butter.
pistachios. I've grown to appreciate the pistachio as I've gotten older. It's not my favorite nut, but it's not as revolting to me now as when I was younger.
It still is revolting. I try one every so often just to see
Sure.
if my taste change because your palate changes.
Right.
Yeah, no, never liked pistachios.
Almond butter's fantastic. I like that one.
Okay. The peanut allergy people love
Sure.
the almond butter.
Yep.
Walnut butter seems like it would be sweet.
I have had walnut butter because my grandmother had made it at least one time that I can recall because my grandparents had walnut trees on their property in Missouri. So we always had barrels of walnuts that we could eat at any given time. And I remember she ground some up and made a walnut butter out of that. It's interesting. It's not quite as sweet as your peanut butter can be. And it also depends on whether you take the nuts and grind them raw or if you roast them before you. Because I know a lot of peanut butters, they do roast the peanuts before they grind them now.
Ooh, that'll bring up a lot of flavor.
It
but a lot of
tends
peanut
to
butter
make a difference.
has sugar in it.
Sure.
If she's just grinding it up right there,
Yeah,
you're not going to get anything fresher than that.
And that's the interesting thing. When I was a kid, my grandparents went to a co-op store. Basically, so my grandparents grew a lot of their own fruits and vegetables, and they would always have extra, and whatever they didn't can or jar up in their basement, they would take to this co-op, and you could either sell it direct or you could swap it with people. And one of the things I used to like to get was the fresh made peanut butter at the co-op, and it didn't have any sugar in it, but it was fantastic. It was literally just basically the peanuts and the oil. Now, it's not as spreadable as like your thickened peanut butter, like the store bought.
Yeah.
It was a little liquidy, I guess is the best way to put it. You did have to stir it really well in the jar before you would put it on your bread.
I see peanut butter like the supernatural peanut butters on this store whenever,
Sure.
like Costco or something, and the oil like rests on top, and you
Yep.
got to stir the hell out
Yep.
of it.
That
I
one
bet that's
doesn't have an
amazing.
emulsifier in it
Yeah.
to bind it together.
I'm holding right now 2 peanut butters. One that was just in my pantry for whatever reason when people visited.
Sure.
Jif Extra Crunchy Peanut Butter.
Okay.
And then the other one I have is the one we purposely buy. Extra Crunchy Skippy Natural Super Chunk.
I am a crunchy peanut butter guy all the way.
I am also a crunchy peanut butter guy all the way. Some people don't like it. That's fine. It's a texture thing.
Yeah, and
There's no right way there.
I will eat a smooth peanut butter.
Yeah.
But if I am buying for myself, it's always crunchy.
I used to like smooth. When you're a kid, you don't know any better.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
Yeah,
But you grow up and you're like, oh, that sounds good.
And kids are finicky, and you put chunks of something in their food.
I don't like it.
I don't want it. You haven't even tried it. Well, just try it. I don't want to try it. I know I don't like it.
I told the nephews when they were visiting, I said, I'll tell you what my father used to tell me in his infinite thug-like wisdom. You're going to eat it or you're going to wear it.
Ah,
Yeah. He never actually made me wear it because I just shut up and eat it.
thank God. I would not want to wear peanut butter.
No, ew, gross. So the Jif, the regular Jif, is made from peanuts and sugar and 2% or less of molasses, fully hydrogenated vegetable oils, which are rapeseed or soybean, mono and diglycerides, and salt. Now, the Skippy, the extra crunchy Skippy Natural Super Chunk, well, that's a mouthful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Roasted peanuts, sugar, palm oil, salt.
Yeah.
So the
Simple.
oil makes a difference. The
Yeah.
ingredients make it because there's no diglycerides or whatever the hell that stuff is that I don't even know what it does. There's no fully hydrogenated vegetable oil. It's just simple, and simple is good. Jif, by the way, is a Smucker's brand, in case you're wondering.
Oh,
There's
that makes sense.
Few companies own the world, by the way.
That's true.
Anyway, that's the peanut butter that we usually get. Now, could we get weird butters? Yeah, but they're going to get expensive, like macadamia nut butter. Holy crap, that's pricey because macadamia nuts are
macadamia
expensive.
nuts are super expensive nowadays.
They're sweet, and they're really good for you, actually.
Yeah.
You ever had one of my favorite chocolate bars is a Mauna Loa chocolate bar. It's just a chocolate bar with fucking macadamia nuts in it. If you can get it in
Nice.
dark chocolate, that's the king of chocolate bars.
Nice.
That is it. That's right there. So you like crunchy, I like crunchy. I will call you correct, and that will be the end of that discussion.
All right.
Let's talk about the other side of this thing.
Okay.
Let's talk about jelly. Concord grape jelly is what we all grew up on.
Sure.
And if you've been to as many restaurants as I have, you got those little packets of jelly. You also get mixed fruit, strawberry preserves, orange marmalade. I hate marmalade. It's got bits in it. I'm never eating it.
It's not my first choice, but I'll eat it. My favorite on my PB&Js growing up, my mother would buy the red raspberry jelly. That was my favorite to make a PB&J with.
Red raspberry.
Yeah, because sweet and tart. Not too much of either, and it just seemed to blend really well with the savoriness of the peanut butter.
My favorite growing up, apple cider jelly.
Okay.
Not apple jelly, which is
Yeah,
also
yeah.
good.
Yes.
Apple cider jelly gives it that something.
Yeah.
And Smucker's actually used to make it, and it wasn't clear like apple jelly. You can see through
Yeah.
apple jelly.
Yes.
You can't see through this. It's like brown, and it's holy shit delicious. I think the
Nice.
first time I ever had like an apple cider jelly or jam or whatever, we went to an apple orchard for like a school trip, and this was in New Jersey, so where they had apple orchards.
Right.
And I just fell in love with the smell and the taste of it. It's got just a hint of cinnamon in it, just a little bit of spice,
Yeah.
a little bit of that clove and allspice, whatever, which is probably why I like allspice so much and why I have allspice dram on my bar.
Nice.
It's also good for tiki drinks.
Right.
Apple cider jelly, if you try this, your life will change.
Now I have to keep my eye out for it.
Yeah. In fact, just as a quick aside, if you subscribe to our Ko-fi, which is like our Patreon, ko-fi.com/inbread, if you subscribe at the Meatball Hero level, there's a chance you might win a sandwich. Well, when you're hearing this, if you want a sandwich, I'll give you the option. I'll send you a sandwich, or I'll send you some apple cider jelly.
Ooh.
Give you a choice.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I don't know what a rhubarb is, and I can't ever picture myself eating. I don't think I've ever eaten one.
I know it's kind of a southern and a midwestern thing because I have had rhubarb both raw and made into a pie. My grandmother and actually both grandmothers and my mother have made a rhubarb pie at a certain point in time. But so where it's a big leafy vegetable, the rhubarb itself is basically just the stem, and the stems are kind of reddish.
Yeah. It looks like celery. That's why I probably never wanted it.
I don't want to say bitter, but it's very tart. Like very tart. When you make a rhubarb pie or you make a rhubarb jelly, there's a lot of sugar that goes into it. I'm talking like tons of sugar.
Marie Callender's has a rhubarb pie. I've never tried it because I've always wanted something else. I usually gravitate toward the pumpkin or what they call the razzleberry, which is raspberries and blackberries baked together with a hint of apples.
Nice.
Oh, what's in front of you?
What is in front of me? Well, I have a jar of Polly's Pies bumbleberry jam.
This is Deb's favoriteest fucking thing in the world. She grew up in Orange County, and she loves this stuff and always has a couple cans of this. I want you to try a little bit of this.
Yes.
What are the ingredients?
So the ingredients are strawberries, marionberries, raspberries, boysenberries, and I do not know how to say this last one.
Olalla berries.
Olalla berries.
The olalla berry is the primary fruit grown at the Lynn's family farm in Cambria, and the berry was first developed at the 1949 Oregon State University by the U.S. Department of Agriculture by crossing a loganberry with a youngberry. Google those yourself, kids, because I don't know what the hell those are.
I know loganberries, but I don't know youngberries.
The result was called an olali, which is a Native American word meaning berry. So it's a berry. So, how's it taste?
Not a berry Rob. Gotcha.
No, that's with an A.
All right. Well, let's give it a try. It's good.
Yeah.
I can't liken it to anything.
Compare it to Concord grape jelly, which is kind of the standard.
I'd say a little more on the tart side, and definitely you got the seeds in there, like you would have with a raspberry-based jelly or a boysenberry jelly. It's good, though. I like it.
Yeah. You can get bumbleberry in other, like, Knott's has it, Miller's, Rachel's Kitchen, but the one from Polly's Pies is her favorite, and we always have some on hand.
Nice.
It's pretty good stuff, and it's great on a peanut butter and jelly, though I don't often have it because I want to leave it for her, and I'm fine with Concord grape.
Right.
I have no problem with Concord grape. I like the taste of Concord grapes. I especially like them when you ferment them and put them in wine.
Ah, gotcha.
And it's funny. I belong to this wine club thing, and where you can talk to the makers of the wine directly about things. And I said,
Sure.
"Hey, your wine was great. This Cabernet Sauvignon went great with peanut butter and jelly." And the guy laughed. He's like, "That's awesome. I can't think of any better compliment."
Now, do we talk about variations on PB&J, like what you can substitute in place of like the jelly or the peanut butter?
Can do a lot of stuff,
right?
But what's good?
Well, there's the fluffernutter, which is the peanut butter and marshmallow cream. That one's pretty good.
I haven't had the marshmallow cream since I was a child.
And
I watched the movie The Stuff.
Okay.
That fucked me up for marshmallow cream. But it just leaks out of the side of the sandwich.
Sure.
It's a mess, dude.
Well, jelly can be a mess too, depending on how much you put on your PB&J.
You put just enough.
There's the peanut butter and honey, which is another good twist on that.
I've had that.
There is peanut butter and bananas.
You get your okay. Let's talk about Elvis.
Let's
talk about Elvis
the
for
famous
a second.
Elvis sandwich.
Peanut butter, banana, and bacon.
Yep.
Hey,
and
that
butter grilled, if I recall.
That hillbilly knew a couple things, but there's a burger here in town. It's called
Yes.
the Elvis burger, the King, right?
The King, yes. Caramelized banana, bacon, peanut butter, and hot honey. Now,
With a burger.
I've had this burger. It's a place called Barcode Burgers.
Oh, we've talked about them before.
Mentioned them before. This is a really interesting sandwich. It's really good. It's just very different mix of flavors. Because that caramelized banana, basically that grilled banana, the bacon, that savoriness. So you've got sweet and savory already. And then you've got that richness from the peanut butter. And the three blend together really well. And then that touch of hot honey gives it a little oomph. So yeah, it's a very tasty
There's
sandwich.
a burger at Slater's 50/50 called the PB&J.
Okay.
It's Black Canyon Angus beef, thick cut bacon, natural peanut butter, and strawberry jelly on a honey wheat bun.
Nice.
That place has got some amazing burgers.
Absolutely.
They've got this burger. I don't even know what the hell it is. It's called the Whale Burger, and it's like $135, but it doesn't say what's in it.
I know it's one of the few places in town that you can get like a buffalo burger at. I do love buffalo burgers.
With buffalo, it's going to be a little drier.
Yeah, I mean, it's not quite as juicy for sure.
One of the best burger places ever, the Hobbit Cafe in Houston, has buffalo.
Nice.
You can order buffalo in place of
Yeah.
your beef, but it's going to cost you a couple bucks more.
Sure.
And it's well worth it, but it is a little drier.
Sure.
So just be aware of that. But okay, back to Elvis. I just recently discovered that Elvis, in his infinite wisdom, used to order this thing called the Fool's Gold Sandwich.
Oh, I just found out about this before we recorded this show. Oh my God, this thing's like a heart attack on a plate.
The Colorado Mine Company was this thing in Denver. It's not there anymore. It was a hot spot for celebrities and for political people. And the king loved his comfort food.
Yes, he did.
And he loved the banana-infused PB&Js that his mom used to make him when he was a child. So not only did he order this thing when he went there, he flew all the way back to get it in 1976. Apparently, the whole venture of him flying everyone out and back cost him like $16,000 back in the day.
Sounds about right.
This sandwich in the 1970-something menu, where just so you're aware how much things cost, a 24-ounce T-bone steak cost $12.95.
Wow.
You know,
That's got to be pushing
a prime filet mignon cost
$50
$12.95, and the Fool's Gold sandwich cost $37.95.
Well, let's tell them what it is, because
Oh yeah, we should probably do that, huh?
Why it's that expensive?
Okay. An entire loaf of Italian bread sliced down the middle, stuffed with margarine, an entire jar of jelly, an entire container of creamy peanut butter, and 1 pound of fried bacon, and the whole thing was deep fried.
Yeah.
Ginormous artery-hardening contraption, they called it. It's just ridiculous.
And they're talking like a whole loaf, so that's got to be, what, 2 foot long at least?
It's just a lot of damn peanut butter and jelly.
And depending
It's a share.
on who makes it, I know that's how they make it there. I have seen that where they hollow out the bread. So it's not just that thick bread. It's like basically just the outer crust and then all those ingredients that you just said stuffed in there. I can't imagine this thing, but apparently that was his all-time favorite sandwich. The close second was the fried PB and banana that he was known for. But
you used to be able to order this thing still at another cafe in Golden, Colorado. One of the chefs moved over there, but that place closed. So if you want this horrific, hardening, disgusting sandwich, you're going to have to make it yourself.
yeah, it's weird that nobody would make that anymore. Of course,
Because oh my God, dude.
It's one of the unhealthiest things I've ever seen.
I bet you I could order something like that at the Heart Attack Grill downtown.
Probably.
Vegas. That place, fuck.
They'll make just about anything down there.
Ugh, it's so gross. If you ever been to the Heart Attack, I'm not going there for this show. I don't care.
No.
Anyone over 350 pounds eats free. All their burgers are made with like the fattiest stuff.
Yep.
All their French fries are cooked in lard. They sell Lucky Strikes, and the girls in nurses' outfits come around and do like shots in your mouth with like syringes of Jell-O shot or whatever.
It's pretty crazy.
It's a crazy place. Oh, and when you go in there, you have to put in a hospital gown. The ones that tie in the back,
Yes.
they're great. It's a fun thing, and then you hurt after.
I'll bet.
It's just disgusting. And okay, so the Heart Attack Grill in Vegas, their website is such shit. They still have Ron Jeremy on there promoting the Heart Attack Grill.
Oh boy.
Oh my God, it's just awful. And they don't even show you what the menu is. You got to like look for yourself, and they have things like the quadruple bypass burger. It's just horrific. Ugh. Oh. The biggest one I think they have is the octuple bypass burger. It's like 19,900 kilocalories or 83.2 kilojoules. It's like 64 ounces of beef. It's just disgusting.
Jesus. That's a hell of a lot of beef.
I love
Gross.
it. I love that this place exists. The burgers suck though. I wasn't.
Yeah, well, you know.
Now, if they put some peanut butter and jelly on them to make them healthy, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Now the bread matters though for peanut butter and jelly. Some people will do peanut butter and jelly, really sweeten it up with King's Hawaiian rolls. I just like a regular, like a honey wheat bread.
Okay, wheat bread's good. White bread is the old school go-to. A good PB&J on sourdough isn't bad either.
I could see it. Never made it with rye. I think it's too something.
I think I said it on here before, but like sourdough's kind of the Swiss Army knife of bread. You can use it for just about anything.
Yeah, sliced Italian bread, not the French. No.
Yeah.
No, I'll use like a store-bought, just a simple honey wheat bread. Not the thick slices, just the regular size slices. You can get the thin slice bread, and in like Costco sells it. It's supposed to be like 45 calories a slice, but it doesn't hold up well.
I like, if I'm doing a wheat bread, I like just a classic wheat bread. I don't like the honey wheat.
That touch of sweetness on it?
Because for me, it's got a little too much sweetness when you're making a PB&J.
Well,
now,
that's American
for
bread.
a standard sandwich, like say you're making a roast beef sandwich or whatever, a honey wheat bread is good because it adds that little bit of sweetness to it. But
if you can make your own bread,
yes,
dude, do that. Or
yeah,
or go to Panera and then get them to get a fresh loaf and have them slice it right there. You can slice it however thin you want, and that's pretty good bread. Actually,
there's a place I like to go to here in Vegas to get my bread. And that's
Great Buns.
Great Buns
Great Buns Bakery.
It's very close to where I live. And if depending on what time of day you go, if you go in the morning when they have been baking all night, the smell of fresh baked bread just wafts over as you're starting to walk into the place. But they make some of the best store-bought sourdough I've ever had because they do make it all on premises. And they are the major supplier for a lot of the casinos around Vegas. Now, I don't want to go say they supply all the casinos, but I do know
a lot.
The vast majority of the casinos do buy their bread from Great Buns. In fact, any restaurant you go to in Vegas, if they have fresh baked sandwich buns, more than likely they got it from Great Buns. That's supposed to be their number one bread that they supply. So if you go get a burger somewhere, you're probably eating on a Great Buns bakery bun. So, but yeah, they have just about every bread you can think of. This was another interesting one that I thought of. Now that speaking of bread, using raisin bread as your bread for making a PB&J.
That seems oddly sweet.
Oh, I mean it's sweet, but it adds just another layer. It's like when you add peanut butter and raisins together. Peanut butter and raisins go well together. The old ants on a log, as we used to call them when we were kids.
Ants on a log. See that? Bleh.
Well, you just don't like the celery.
No, never. I like celery, but I don't like peanut butter on it, and I definitely don't want raisins on it. I like raisins. I don't like them with peanut butter, and I definitely don't like either of those things with celery. I wasn't the kid that everything had to not touch, but that's just gross. There's one more thing I want to talk about before we end this show.
All right.
Peanut butter and jelly can be very expensive, depending on where you go. There is a place called PB&J, but it stands for Pizza, Beer, and Jukebox, and it is in the West Loop in Chicago, and they sell this thing called the Golden Goose. House-made golden brioche loaf paired with the fanciest jelly ever made and the world's most expensive honey. It includes Maison Dutre à la Lorraine jelly, whatever 25 plus UMF Manuka honey means, Adams All Natural peanut butter, a house-made golden brioche loaf, and a pizza paddle signing. It's weird. It's hand seeded using goose quills. The jelly. The process of seeding the jam with the feather quill has been used since the 14th century. A jar of it costs about $21. The Adams All Natural peanut butter is super good for you. That's like $6. The red currant, between that and the red currant jam, it doesn't sound like it would cost $350.
Yeah, that seems a bit
then
much.
you get the bread. Edible gold leaf bread.
Of course.
Got it, because you got to eat gold.
Yep.
You know? And then it's drizzled with this New Zealand honey I talked about, which costs about $39 a jar. So, all told, it's just gold leaf. That's why I don't like the things that are expensive just because they added gold leaf. You're just trying to make it expensive.
Well, the imported New Zealand honey probably adds a bit to it.
That's fine. So, $40 a jar for the honey.
Sure.
$6 for the peanut. It's peanut butter. You know, whatever.
Well,
you want to go
if
with
they make it in house, then you got to add the labor in there. So.
And then the jam, $21 ish. It's still all the gold leaf that makes it expensive.
Yeah, exactly. It's adding the gold leaf on there. It's like there was some place that had a gold leaf steak. You know, other than it being a prime aged steak, it just has gold leaf on it.
Yeah,
and
take
that's
that
the
shit
only
out of
thing.
there.
Yeah, exactly.
If I want gold leaf, I'll drink Goldschlager.
There you go.
Anyway, what have you been eating? Write to us. Comments at inbredpodcast.com. That's our show. I'm Barry.
I'm Jeff.
And stay hungry, I guess. I don't know. I don't have like a little fun outro thing.
Stay hungry, my friends.
Stay hungry, my friends. I am the world's most hungriest man. Stay hungry. I'm always hungry. I'm hungry now.
We just ate.
I
like
just
2 hours
ate.
ago.
I kind of want a PB&J now. We've been talking about it. I know what it sounds like. I know what it tastes like.
Yeah.
You know, and gold leaf. You can't even taste gold leaf, can you?
No, it doesn't really have. I mean, I've had it a few times in a few different things over the years, but it doesn't really taste like anything.
Yeah, no. And pair your peanut butter and jelly with a nice red wine, something deep like a Pinot Noir.
Yeah,
that's my go-to.
Gourmet PB&J with wine.